Hello, my people. Oh, man, I'm tired. I'm giving you a fresh recap. This is a fan convention recap. I flew in today, and I figured, I might as well just do a recap while I'm fresh. So I just came from Salt Lake City, FanX, a humongous convention. A true Comic Con. It has a little bit of everything. Superheroes, horror, gore horror, wrestlers, cartoons, anime, reality TV, actors, comedians. It was really a plethora. Now, I think this convention is supposed to be the second biggest convention in the world. Over 150,000 people attend or something, 200. I tell you, it was so huge I didn't realize until the last day, because when I had my panel, there was a whole other two sections, one with vendors and then one with like live action events, and then ours was just where we were doing our signings. Ton of guests, some true legends there this weekend. Over like 75 people, guests, and some healthy lines for people that I didn't know as much. Very, 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 very popular people. Obviously, the biggest hit of the festival was Stranger Things. Those kids are killing it. Amazing. Cobra Kai, right there with them. Different icons that were there were killing it. Skeeter did very well. He always kills it. This convention is super first class, man. It's incredible. It's Salt Lake is blowing up. So clean. I like it. It's an hour and 26 minutes away. Fuck, man. I don't know what I would do out there, but I could squat out there for sure. Like, it's fucking clean as hell. We do it Thursday, Friday, Saturday, because Sunday, I guess Utah shuts down because of Jesus, which is different. The convention's first class, man. They got all these fucking high-end, like, Range Rovers. You never shared a car with anybody. They pick you up in an Escalade, drop you off at your airport. Boom, pick you up, Escalade, boom, hotel, first class, boom. Incredible. The American Grand, I think it is. Incredible. A lot of stuff going on at that hotel this weekend. Weddings, conventions, I saw a lot of basketball players. The convention is insanely big. It's huge. The owners are very, very cool. A couple and another gentleman. And I'm sorry to the Wrights, the couple that had the party on Saturday. I'm sorry I missed it. I was so tired. I ate and I fell asleep. I never eat pizza, but I wanted to fucking eat a pizza. And I just passed out. It's a huge convention. You guys are incredible. This is a super, super successful convention. But I'm dead, I'm dead tired. And I just, more and more I think about it as I talk to people. I give of myself, I want, like I said, I take people's energies on. I was thinking about this yesterday. It's so intense. Like, I met a young mother with her baby that she was just happy to get out of the house. And I met this poor guy in a wheelchair who was an amazing attitude, but, seen a lot of things. I got real emo. Then I met, like, just a fucking crazy horror dude. Then I met, like, these young, like, high school kids that were just happy. So it was like, there's so many different emotions that you go through within a 5-minute period. And I have to take a minute, Couple of things I'll tell you about the con, about cons in general. They're bigger than ever, more legit than ever, incredibly grateful for them more than ever. I do have moments. I'm getting better at keeping my moments to myself, but I do get a lot of moments. The basic thing is, when I'm tired, I'm an animal. I'm an animal anyway, but like when I'm fucking tired, I'm a fucking animal. And I had a lot going on this weekend, because you understand, like, I was thinking about it. I could just do one con every couple of months, and I wouldn't have to work. It's a beautiful thing. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to work as much as I can, because I think the world's crazy, and I don't know. I don't know what the world's going to be in 5 years, so you got to stack it up. And I'm also industrious, and I just like to be amongst the people. I like the atmosphere. I like seeing all of people that I love, people that I don't know, people that I've looked up to, new people in the scene. You know what I mean? Like, I'm looking up at the Happy Days guys, and I can barely form a sentence. You know what I mean? I'm I talked to everybody I wanted to talk to this weekend, except Anson Williams and Donnie Most, who played Ralph Mouth. And they were in a booth at a fucking restaurant on Saturday night. And my agent and my girl are like, just go talk to them. I'm like, that's the worst time to bug somebody. They're fucking, at the end of the day, they're eating a bowl of carbonara. Leave them alone. You know, like, I don't want to bug them. I just want to tell them how I love them. I'm like, that. I was the only people I didn't talk to. Like, I fucking love those guys. And, like, they're, like, people I look up to. You know what I mean? And there was so many different generations, you know? And I look up to a lot of people. I mean, Anthony Michael Hall is there. He's one of my idols. I look up to him. He's the fucking coolest guy. Such a legend. Corey, another legend. Love talking to Corey. You know, a lot of, and then like I see the Stranger Things kids, and they're new legends, you know, but there's like all different generations, you know. It's like, it's fascinating, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know certain people, and they're huge, but some people may know me, and I'm like, I can't believe you know me, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm a little fried right now. Getting with the celebrities, I saw Jason Mewes, my boy, who was there. He was great. I didn't get to see Kevin. I saw Brian O'Halloran. What's up, Brian? All the Clerks guys. It was so many people. It was awesome. William Zabka, legend. Look up to him. So many different legends. And this con was crazy. It should have been 6 days. Because the people were there for it. Fuck, man. They turned the lights out at like 7:30 and people were still there. I'm like, just keep the lights on, man. People want to fuck. Here's the first thing. If I had a con, this is what I would do. I guess people have normal jobs and shit, but have the con from 7 to 1 a.m. on Friday, from 2 to 10 on Saturday, and from 2 to 8 on Sunday. And if you go over, you go over. Have your parties, your private meet and greet parties, have your after parties after that. I mean, fuck, no one gets up early in this world. None of us do. I mean, I guess some actors do. You know, it's not my bag. There's actors that have hours that they go to bed at 8 o'clock. That's just not my bag, you know. So maybe I'm more of a comedian that way because I sleep in all day. But I also, actors do that too. Like, I know actors that fucking sleep all day. So, and you're up all night. Writers do that too. I mean, I don't know. I guess if you're a person that has a job in the real world, I don't fucking know. But I think the people that come out are eclectic people, a lot of them. So they don't mind weird hours. So I think we should fix the con hours. This is for all cons. I hate early mornings. It's hard to do. And you're going to say, well, you didn't have to go to your table until 11. I know. But that's early for me. Because I got to be on. The weirdest thing I think about cons is, it's not weird. It's just, and this is nothing you haven't heard before, but I'm just trying to do it. Like, I get tired and I get fucking emo. Meaning I get fucking real fucking triggered real quick. You know what I mean? And it is not hard work. I love this con. Do you know why? Because there's a ton of military at it. There's a ton of fucking military at it, man. Air Force, I think. A lot of Air Force. Guys that were fresh. All my volunteers were military. Awesome. That's fucking awesome. Military people get it. Like, I just want my whole fucking life with military cheerleaders. Because they get it. And they fucking don't bother you. They only speak when they're spoken to. And they just fucking yes and. They get it done. They don't get defensive. I mean, God, I really could replace a lot of people in this world with military people. Like, it's just that. And one of the things we have is lingerers, loiterers. I call them window shoppers, drive-byers. And when you have a line, like Skeet's line was like fucking a football field. And mine wasn't that big this weekend. And then there were some times when it was no one there. So if you have a huge football field of a line of people, and then Thomas next to me, Cobra Kai, very great line. Legend, great guy, by the way. Love him. He's now in the Khan family. He had a big line. And I kind of was like in the middle of these two big lines. And I'm like, so you have moments where it's empty, and which is okay. But when you do that, you get people that just think they can come up. And they can come up. But you get people that don't understand boundaries or rules or how much time they should spend with you. There's looky-loos that will never buy, that just kind of browse and then start asking you a question. Hey, what was your favorite Scream to do? Okay. And they'll act like look a little more, and they go, so Courtney Cox, and those, you know what I mean? And there's people that'll beeline right to you and just say, I love you, and then they'll leave. Those are cool. Or there's people like, they'll beeline you and go, I love you. So can I ask you a bunch of questions? And it's like, whew, okay. And it's not that people don't deserve answers. It's just that I get tired, and it's a business. You know what I mean? We're all there, and I can do some of it, but people will take more of your time than sometimes you feel comfortable giving just because you're just tired. But there's a guy there this weekend who's pretty intense. You know, there's definitely tons of Asperger's there. I mean, I probably have it, right? Tons of spectrum livers, and that's all fine. But, you know, they look down, and like, hey, man. I gotta ask you a question, man. You know what I mean? Hey, there's a fucking Rain Man there. A lot of Rain Man. And I want to be respectful to them. And I also want to be respectful to them. Because, A, I want, to be respectful to them, understand that they may need a little extra massaging. And B, I don't want to piss them off. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm going to say. I don't want to piss them off. But the perimeters were secured very good. So I felt, and I've never seen anything weird at a con like that. I've never seen any drama at a con, if you know what I'm saying. And, but I said, so I had a dude there. He was a captain. He's fresh retired, man. Young, probably 38, did his 20 years. He's on his pension. Now he's like doing fun jobs in his life. And I was like, hey, Captain. And he was like, yeah. I'm like, can you run a little interference? He's like, what do you mean? And I was like, that guy. And he's like, I got you. I didn't have to finish my sentence. He goes in, talks to him. He's like, the guests here, they like to talk to you. But, at some point, if you're just there and other people were waiting, don't know what's going on. And the person's like, oh, okay, I get it. And then they leave. And I said, thank you. He goes, yeah. I said, dude, I love that you're here. And he said, yeah, as the military, that's one of the things that we really pride ourselves on, situational awareness. And I said, that's the brilliantest term, situational awareness. Fucking A. I can't believe I've been this today years old. I don't think I've ever heard that term. How did I never hear that term? We all say it in different ways. Situational awareness. I just say awareness, common sense. Situational awareness. It's a brilliant term. God bless our military, because without them, I wouldn't be able to sit at a table and fucking sign for you. And without them, you wouldn't be able to come up to the table, because both of us would be in a fucking camp somewhere digging ditches. You know what I'm saying? Like, the fucking military protects us so we can fucking live and eat Taco Bell. Let's just call it what it is, man. And situational awareness, which is, hey, bro, this guy's here, and this guy's, people pay for him. He's a commodity. You're at a high-paying zoo here. So, say what's up to the animal, but don't hang out too long, because you might discourage other patrons, and you might block the other patrons from coming to see. So sometimes the animal doesn't want to talk all day, and they get grumpy. And that's when the animal scratches the glass. You know what I mean? But when he said situational awareness, I'm like, it's so easy. And I had a young buck. I think his name was Justin. He was my volunteer the whole weekend. He was fucking incredible. He never said shit. Now, I had different incidences. I'm going to tell you what his incident was with me that he witnessed. So I am an animal. Like, that's what we are. When you come to a con, you're at a high-end zoo. And we're all different fucking animals. Chimps, fucking giraffes, rhinoceroses, fucking sloths. All of us. We're all different types of animals. Birds. And you come and see your favorite animal. And there's a premium with that. Some big, some little. It depends on how much you like this particular kind of animal. And so sometimes when my line is empty, I am like the fucking, I'm probably like the turtles. You know what I mean? Turtles get fucked at the zoo, right? They sit there. People can pick them up. Don't walk off with the turtles, but there's a petting zoo. I'm like the petting zoo sometimes. Like, llamas are like, I don't want to, there's some animals, they're so fucking secluded because they'll fuck you up. But yet llamas are nice, and llamas like all day. I'm a fucking llama, like at times. It's like, fuck me, man. Like, I'm a llama. Like, llamas are cool. They're fucking fluffy. Like, why do llamas fucking have to deal with it? You know what I mean? Like, you should respect llamas more than a lot of these asshole animals, because llamas can bring you happiness. That's what I am. Now, I'm not saying I get disrespected. I just get overlooked sometimes. So, well, here's an example. So, I had an example. I didn't figure it out until later. I had a high-end Karen come at me. Fuck, man. I was tired, too. I did not back down. See, I'm not scared of confrontations because I don't have anything to hide. I don't think so. I mean, I've made some mistakes. Probably people wouldn't like them, but I'm willing to I think you can come at me before I can defend. You know what I mean? Or I'll just admit it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I fucked up, But I don't have like a L'Oreal deal right now, and I still work. And I could work in something mainstream, but I don't have something that I'm worried about losing at the moment. I mean, none of us even have a reputation anymore. Like, you can lose that, but you can't. People just make shit up about you all the fucking time. Just make shit up. That's all it is. People run rampant with it. So once that happened, I'm like, all bets are off. If people are believing rumors about people without any evidence or facts, that's when society took a fucking big turn for me. I'm there, and some kid comes up to me, and I don't know. I guess he was older than I thought, but I don't know, he was early 20s. And he starts talking about Heckler. And then he says how much that he liked the first half of Heckler, but he didn't like the second half. And he started telling me why he didn't like it and stuff like that. Now, granted, he wasn't a drive-by. He was a beeline, talked to me, didn't get anything, and just thought he could just talk to me. But he started negging me. Of course, he doesn't realize I realize that because he's not intelligent enough. And I got to be fucking polite Patty. So I'm like, oh, you didn't like that part? And he's like, yeah. Well, this part because this, but I like the first part and the second part. And then he starts talking about Son of the Mask. I think he said something positive. And then he talks about some other critic about, I think, who reviewed it. And I think that the critic you talk about, I'm not going to name names, but I think the guy was an asshole about the movie and an asshole to me. I'm pretty sure he was. I'm pretty sure, but I didn't check it out. So at the end of it, he's like, oh, I also do comedy too. Oh, okay. Just completely disregard my whole career. Now you and me are on the same level, bro. Because you do it too. This is what people do all day, right? I'm like, okay, cool. And he's like, yeah, I think he asked me something about comedy. And I said, you do comedy? And he said, yeah. I said something. And then I said something. And I said, you know what? Do you really want to do comedy? Do you really want to do it? He's like, oh, yeah. And I said, again, I don't have to say anything. I could just have security say, hey, man, don't bother me. But I do. I engage with people because I'm a human being first. And I'm sitting there. I got nothing to fucking do. I'm under the fucking hot toaster lights, like a piece of fried fish. Because when you're there and there's like under the lights and shit, you're like a fried fish sandwich at Arby's. That's what you feel like. No one goes to Arby's to get the fried fish. They always get the fucking meats. We have the meats. But actually, Nay, who works with us, my agent's right hand, she said that she gets the fried fish at Arby's, which is kind of crazy because I don't know anybody that does. But that's what I'm saying. So you're in a foreign place, everyone else is getting those, and I'm like fried fish. But people do fuck with the fried fish. So anyway, this guy's talking to me, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, and I'm like, do you really want to do comedy? He's like, oh yeah, I'm doing it. And I'm like, how much time do you get up a week? He's like, well, not very much. I go, here's what you have to do with comedy. That if you don't get on stage, it will kill you. That if you don't express yourself on a daily basis or a few times a week, it will kill you inside. It'll feel like it'll kill you. That's how I said. And I said, you'll never do comedy. It will do you. It will eat you up if you don't do it. It will eat you up if you do not do it. That's with any of the creative arts. Like, there's no excuses. I can't. People say, well, you're not a creative person if you're not a creative person. Meaning that I don't even care if people think you're good or not. If you're not strumming a guitar every day or obsessing about something or trying to figure out fucking how to get a role, anything. If you're not obsessing about something where you want to express yourself, you're probably not going to do something in that area. That's just my history with it. I don't know any real part-time stars. I know obsessed, insane, crazy people trying to fucking stay relevant in the middle. You know what I mean? Like, it's fucking, and to get to the top is insanity. And there's a lot of people at the bottom clouding up saying, oh, they're doing it, but they're not really doing it. So anyway, I told him that. And then he said something else. And he said, all right, man. And he just kind of walked off, whatever. The next day, I get this lady comes up, a Karen, and she talks to my young fucking military man. And she's like, do I have to set an appointment with him? I love when people talk about me right there. This happens to me all the time, famous people. I can fucking hear you. I'm not an actual Ewok. Like, I can fucking hear you. So if you talk about me, like, or you ask Alyssa, who I put in this position, who I love, but she's like, oh, I'm me. I like buffers, but like, don't act like I can't fucking hear you. How do you think I got in this position? So he's like, no, I think you can just go up. She's like, Mike, can I ask him a question? And he didn't know. I wish he would have said, hey, man, this lady wants to talk to you for a second. And I was like, all right. But he just said, and I went, okay. So she came over and she's like, hey, did you meet my son the other day? And I was like, thought about it. I'm like, I think I did because it wasn't that busy. And she's like, I'm like, long hair. She's like, yeah. And did you talk to him about comedy? I said, oh, yeah, I did. And she said that if my son doesn't make it in comedy, he should go kill himself. And Alyssa was looking at the lady, like, repeat that? She's like, did you tell my son that if he doesn't make it in comedy, he should go kill himself? And I said, no, ma'am, I never said anything like that. She goes, well, what did you say? And I said that I think it was your son I was talking to, and that if he feels like, if he's not doing comedy, that if he feels like if he doesn't do it, he's going to die. Like your existence is not being fulfilled if you're not doing what this is for comedy. That's what it is. For comedy or acting or whatever, you know what I mean? But he was a comedian. And she's like, I said that if you don't do it, it'll make you feel like you want to die. That's how you know you should do it. And she said, well, he said that you told him to go kill himself. And I said, yeah, I never said that. Those are two different phrases, ma'am. I never fucking said that. And she said, well, that's my son. And I believe him. And I go, and then I just lost it. I'm like, oh, you can believe your son. That's incredible. But sometimes sons fucking lie. And sons get the fucking facts wrong. She goes, well, he's on the spectrum. And I go, great. We all are a different color on the spectrum. I don't give a fuck. I'm sick of that, by the way. He's gluten-free or somebody pulling out an ailment. We all got fucking ailments, all right? And I just lost it. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck if he's a one-eyed pirate. Like, I wasn't mean to him, and he's misrepresenting what I fucking said. And she's like, well, he's my son. And I go, I don't give a fuck if he's your fucking son. I go, that's the problem with society. You think because he's your son, you just protect him at all costs, even though your son might be a fucking Nimrod. I go, bring him over here. She goes, no, he doesn't know I'm here. So I'm like, you're fucking caring for your son? And she's like, yes. And he goes, he's a comedian. I go, well, great. Bring him over. I already gave him free fucking advice that he already got wrong. And I go, why isn't he out every night? And she goes, because he has to pay his bills. I go, what bills? Is he married? Does he have a fucking kid? Does he have a dog? She's like, no. And I go, what? He goes, well, he's 30 and he lives with me, but he has to have a job. I go, so he's not a fucking comedian. You're guarding a 30-year-old kid that lives in your fucking house who's like fucking half fucking with me. I know he was, and I didn't really fuck with him back. I just let him know, like, yo, dog, just bounce. And now you're coming over here to fight his battles, and he's 30? Oh, he's going to do great in comedy. Can't wait for him to go to the fucking treble run. Those who know. You know what I mean? Like, good luck in a bar show. Like, so she kept saying, well, he's my son. I go, I don't give a fuck. I'm fucked up like that, but I'm actually good like that. Because, you know, God rest my mother's soul, but my mother would sell us out to the neighbors sometimes to look good. And I'm like, I'm your fucking son, you know? But my mom was like, ew, I don't give a fuck if you're my kid or not. And more often, if you were her kid, you were the fucking criminal. So there are these parents that protect their fucking kids, or the husbands that protect their drunk-ass dumb wife, or wives who protect their fucking stupid husband who's like, oh, like, you know what I'm saying? All these labels that I don't give a fuck about. Or that's my sister. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about your labels. I care about righteousness, man. I care about the truth. And I don't give a fuck if your fraternal twin is a fucking criminal. They're a criminal. I don't give a fuck that you share the same embryo. You understand? So all these labels, this is what society, and I said, that's the problem with society, lady. You're just giving this guy a pass because he's your fucking son. Like, I don't give a fuck. So my mother did that to me. She would sell me out. Like, nuns would holler at me. My mom would fucking take the nun side, or take the neighbor's side. And then my mom was talking shit about the neighbors one day. I fucking never told her this guy. I'm sorry, Mom, if you're hearing this. But I had to. And I told the neighbors what my fucking mom said about them. And the neighbor came and fucking stepped to my mom. It was a lady to lady. Not terrible, but just like, hey, man, don't say that. Like, that's not true, and blah, blah, blah. Basically, my mom was saying that the neighbor, that she sold me out to the one of the neighbors. I'm like, that's not true. And so then my mom basically said about this other neighbor lady that she had hot pants. You know what I'm saying, what hot pants are? She's like, oh, yeah, that's fucking hot pants down there. So I let the lady know that my mom thought that she was a little fucking loose in the drawers, and then she had a different visitor every night. And the lady came to my mom, and I watched it from the fucking dining room. I hid, and I watched my mom get a little bit of dressed down. And my mom was like, how did she know I said that? Oh, my God, she was crazy. And I'm like, fuck, news travels fast. I'm like, are you okay? She's like, yeah, she was. And I dined my own mother out because she dined me out too much. So I had to, what am I going to do? I'm fucking 13 years old. I got no rights. I can't drive. I'm under fucking house arrest. That's what you are with parents. So I dimed her out, and she learned for a little bit, but then she starts talking shit again and fucking throw me under the bus. So what can I do? So that's what I did. That's why I'm fucked up. But I'm probably righteous. My mother was righteous when I was arrested for drunken public drunkenness. My mother didn't bound me out until the end of the next day. She let me sit in jail all night. No, it wasn't a terrible jail, but I did time. I did time for about 8 hours. And my dad's like, get him out. She's like, no, let him learn a lesson. I don't know. Tough love, I guess. But it fucked me up a little bit. But, I mean, there's things where you can teach a kid. But I don't agree with helicopter parents, and I don't agree with, let me sit in a hard bed. Now, it wasn't like fucking L.A. County. It was a little fucking local Jamokel jail. But if she would have left me in fucking Folsom for 2 weeks, fucking my butthole's open, like, come on. I don't think she would have did that. Long story, not boring, is this lady stepped to me. I let her know. She tried to claim that the kid is fucking autism. We all have autism. Like, stop. And then I said, lady, you're not going to agree with me. I'm not going to agree with you. I didn't say that. I'm sorry. Send your son out into the world. Your son, the best thing you can do is kick your son out. And he'll either do comedy or he won't because he's so... I know a guy in fucking San Diego that's half your kid's age right now, lives in a van. Fucking this guy is a grinder. He's a funny motherfucker. He's a tall, lanky guy. And he fucking pulls biatches in the van. That sounds weird, but he's a charming, funny comic. And he lives in a van and he does comedy 3 times a night. That guy will make it. That guy will make it. So much so that he hooks up with women in the vans. It's voluntarily. He doesn't drag them in there. That's what I'm saying. That's an animal. He will make it. I know when people won't make it or will make it. So anyway, she came at me. So try not to do that. I mean, if you want to, you can, but just know that I'm not going to buck down. Everything was great. I had that one incident. Then I had, here's another thing. God, Utah, you guys, I mean, here's another thing. A family. It's okay not to have every fucking sperm drop that comes out of your ball bag. If you're in Utah, you can pull out. Like, you don't have to have a minimum of 6 kids before you're 15. Like, you don't have to do that before you're 20. Like, you don't, like, you can pull, you don't have to have all these kids. But here's the thing. No, this is another pet peeve of mine. I guess this is pet peeve at cons. Like, if you're a family, like, these people come up, these dads, these moms, and they'll have like 5 kids with them. 5. And they'll be all ages from like early high school, a couple middle school to grade school to like a fucking toddler. Like, that's just an active family, like a Disney funny plot movie. Like the dozen of whatever that is. Baker's Dozen, whatever that movie is. Like, if you're going to come and buy something, it's annoying, or you want to get an autograph, it's annoying, but I'll do it, all right? Because I got to do it. But when you come up and you're doing a fucking looky-loo, if you do it one time, you say, what's up, that's cool. But, like, if you're, it's like the same thing with Starbucks. It's like, when I'm asked, this is a fucking crazy pet peeve of mine. I see a lady come up, and she's got 3 kids and a fucking toddler, and she's like, Michael, what do you want? Evan, Carly, and they're like 5, 2, and 2. And they're like, she's like, you want a chocolate milk? And he's like, chocolate, I like chocolate. And she's like, do you want, Evan? He's like, aren't you? It's like, don't ask these fucking kids what they want. You're getting chocolate milk, you're getting orange juice, and that's it. Like, and put them in a table. Put them all at a table. If you leave that table, I'm not your mommy anymore. And put them there. Put them there. If you can't control your kids, you fucking should have closed your legs and shut your ball bag off. Sorry. Too many parents. So people do this all the time. Like, they come 6 people deep in a line. They're like, I'm thinking. So people do this at conventions, you know. But if you're a customer, I'm going to acquiesce. But they're very cool. It's just tons of people at once. And little kids like picking his nose and touching your picture. And, wait, you're in this movie? And, you know, all that shit. And no one else is going to tell you this, but this is the real. This is what they're thinking. Because they don't want to fuck their paper up. I don't want to fuck my paper up, but I believe the truth is the best paper. So there was a family of like these people. It was literally like cheaper by the dozen. It was like a high school girl or a college age girl and the toddler and everybody in between. And they came by. They never bought anything. They never wanted to take a picture. All they wanted to do was just shout at me, traffic, looking for my chapstick. And then they'd run off. They did this like 7 times. You know, maybe after the first 3 times, you don't do it anymore. Or if you did, like, you know, buy a hat. But they came and they would do it. And each time it got a little less because they'd see how annoyed to it. Like, once it was just 1 kid. I could see the dad like, go do it. And, yeah, I don't need that. And all this has to do with what our military friend said. Situational awareness. People have none. And then here's another one. I put this in my story. And it's not me being emo. It's situational awareness. So this lady came up, very nice lady. We had a nice interaction. And she's like, I watch all your movies. I said, oh, thank you. And she said, even the cringy ones. I said, oh, thank you. I'm so happy that you sit through the cringy ones. She's like, yep, even the and there wasn't like an Asperger's thing to her. She was literally just, and then she's like, ha, you know what I mean? Like, ha. And I'm like, I do. And I'm like, you could have just left that part out. Just be like, I watch all your movies. And she's like, oh, no, but I wanted you to know what a fan I am. And I'm like, that is a fan. But, like, how would you like it if, like, I went on a date with some chick and I was like, I love everything about you. Even your pimpled, covered cottage cheese ass. No, I love everything about you. Even your pimpled, covered cottage cheese cellulite ass. I'd go to jail. But that's what that's equivalent of. That's what I want to say back to people. Now, it depends on what part of the day I'm in or how deep I'm in the con and how tired I am. And she was really cool. That was like a little thing. And she wasn't trying to be mean. There was no intention there. She was actually coming from a sweet place. I'm not really mad at her. But it was a good, like, little moment of, like, a lesson of, like, she wasn't really trying to be mean. But, like, I'm not going to probably take that good. And again, idiots that don't understand will go, so you just want your ass kissed all day? No, I don't. I just, like, read the situation, think about if I'm going to fucking have a moment, and just be like, you know, let's have a positive thing, you know? Or if you're my fucking drama teacher, then you should criticize me. But, like, I already made the movie. The money's spent. The movie's somewhere in a fucking Redbox. Like, not going to change anything, so I don't know why. But I don't love it. It wasn't anything bad. I'm just telling you funny things. This happens at every convention. The Karen ran off. I said, I don't care. And she ran off, and I could see she was about to cry. Don't fuck with the bull, man, if you don't want the horn. Like, that's just the way it is. Like, I give you 2, 3 outs, and you're on borrowed time if you're still stepping to me with no probable cause. Like, if I'm the wrong, yeah. But I didn't do anything wrong. And if fucking people want to go and take it up with the convention, I'll fucking, let's go to the committee. Like, I'll go. Like, I'll stand by my shit, you know. He said. And I have 2 witnesses. 1 military and 1 my lady who was there the whole time. I'll record everything. I'm getting to the point where I'll fucking record everything. This mom came and these 3 girls, and they were so sweet. I love it, like, when little, like, young mothers come and they're with their daughters, and they're so sweet. Like, beautiful dynamic. It's a big bonding. That's another thing people do. They bond with this stuff. And nothing bad. You can say that, okay? You can say that the daughter is very sweet and the mom is sweet. It's nothing weird. But it's sad that I've said. And that's what this is about, this comment. And she's like, I'm taking a picture, and her 2 daughters are there. And they're probably like fucking 9th grade or whatever. And I'm like this, my hands like right. She's like, oh my God. She's like, you can put your hands on my daughters. I'm like, can I? And they're like, yeah, you're fine. Put your hand. So I'm like this. And she's like, take the pictures. And she's like, you're so sweet. She goes, but she's like, Jesus Christ, this is the world we're at now. It's so funny that you're doing that. That you have these like wings now and all these pictures. And I'm like, Lady, you know what's up. She's like, oh, I know. It's sad. It's a sad state of affairs. And the girls were like, yeah. And again, the generations have different feelings and different things. But it's like, would I ever I mean, there's people that hug and all types of shit, man. There's fucking hardcore. And I'll hug everybody every day, you know, as long as you don't smell. But in the new world, it's not that I don't want to be affectionate with you. It's just that I don't know what your boundaries are. And people they fucking might be uncomfortable with it. So I usually ask, you know, I'm like, unless I'm like tired. Usually I let people reach for me. And most people are always like, can I have a hug? Can I hug you? I'm like, sure. But it is, I always do that too. I'm putting my arm on your shoulder. Is that cool? And they're like, yeah. Like, I usually ask, like, again, if I'm really tired. Or sometimes if they grab me before, then I know it's okay. So it's pretty fascinating though. I mean, it's been like that for a while, but you know, I don't even fucking, you gotta do the counter, man. Like, but I usually let people hug me. But that's it. That's the recap. It was a great weekend. I think I'm going to have 1 more this year. Big ass Comic-Con in San Antonio on Halloween weekend. And then that's it. Just some comedy shows. And then that's it. I'm going to chill. I don't know what 2023 looks like yet. I got like 2 gigs and that's it. 2 casino gigs. I don't know. Fixing out my life, getting a few things done. And then I'm just going to be a machine. Pods, cons, stand-up, social media clips. So that's it. Have a good week. Stay blessed. Go to my Patreon. The link's under here for spicier stuff. Go to all my social media stuff. Link, subscribe. Do all that, man. Appreciate your support, because without you, I wouldn't be here doing this. Appreciate you liking me. Appreciate if you don't like me, you say it in a constructive way. I appreciate when you leave a comment and you have a real profile and not a fucking lying profile. Like, don't give me a comment about some shit if you're an egg. Peace.